Welcome back to a brand new episode. I'm your host, Disco, and today we're going to talk about Donald Trump. Yes, I know Donald Trump's been in the news a lot lately, but more on that. I need to clarify some things. It has been a long time. I think it's been a year, nearly a year since I uploaded like a proper video. I can explain. I went to college. I still am in college, but uh, I am in university, well, more specifically, university. I am a electrical and computer engineer major, so double major right off the bat in engineering, which is really difficult. I also got to clear up the air. I was a student athlete, still am student athlete, where and everybody knows that balancing a student athlete, being a student athlete, and balancing school at the same time is not easy, especially with all the NCAA regulations and trying to juggle that with the videos was not doable, so I had to stop making videos. I appreciate I appreciate your patience and give me 2 seconds here. My deepest apologies on that. I received a text from my parents. I had to answer that. No problem. I'm sorry. As I was saying, I had to stop doing those videos. And yeah, but what it's looking like in the next semester, I have a better chance of making some videos. It won't be like the ton I used to be making, but it would be a bit more consistent. Say like on the weekends I can spend a few more minutes being like, "Hey, what's up guys?" And instead of being like on my trying to find other ways to do this, making YouTube shorts because I don't think that's really the best way in my opinion. So, but I thank you for your patience. Thank you for all who stayed along and who've been on this journey with me. And yeah, we'll dive into the 2024 election. I'm not going to go in and start from the very last time I uploaded to the net to go all through that because it's just way too much and it's just unbearable to go through that. But long story short, Donald Trump got convicted of 34 felony counts. Um, I'm going to quickly look that up, but I will do that in the next video. But the thing is, let's see what the polls are saying about Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. What are they saying? We're going to first go up to Alaska and Alabama. Now, so far, the average seems to be showing that Trump was ahead. No matter we knew Alaska was going to go to Trump, but no matter what, it was going to be a bit closer than usual, considering that Alaska, to be more precise, voted for their first Democrat statewide since since the Senate back in 2008. So yeah, hello, what did you do to me? Hello, there you go. So yeah, Mara Patola won against Sarah Palin twice, I might add. And so yeah, but based off the polls, Donald Trump's going to win by a solid margin, along with Alabama. We also have to keep in mind now that Kennedy is now a force to be reckoned with. Look at this: Biden versus Kennedy in Alaska, 13 points ahead. Jesus, and then Trump 6 points for Trump. It's a bit harder. It's 23 points for Kennedy. He's taken away votes from. He's a majority of the votes he's taken away is Biden. It's undeniable, but he is taking away votes from Republicans as well. That is not to be mistaken, and it's something to consider. Up next is the great state of Arizona. So far, Trump is ahead in the polls by around nearly 5 points, but Kennedy has taken away 10% of the voting, which is really, really shocking in my opinion. Considering that, remember, Arizona went to Biden by 0.31 and voted for Trump in 2016 by 3.5 points. But also keep in mind that Trump won the state with less than not even a 50% threshold. I also keep in mind that Biden also didn't win with a 50% threshold. Neither of them did. There's a bunch of states that didn't even get a 50% threshold. I mean, look at 2016. Colorado, New Mexico, Nevada, nearly Colorado, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, my home state, and Pennsylvania, along with North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. There's a bunch of states that had this situation. So we got to keep that in mind. We're going to go to the next state of stape. We got stape. We've mashed up staples and tape. Great. Wow, 3 points. Oh Jesus, that just signifies this right here signifies that Kennedy has taken away votes from Trump. Looks like Trump is ahead, but this is a solid state. Why did I even bother to look? We're going to look at the state of California. Now, it looks like Biden is ahead by 20 points, and it looks like Trump is getting less votes in this one rather than the other way around. But it looks like it's a 20-point lead so far, 25 if you don't add Kennedy. So Kennedy has taken away uh he's taken away an uneven amount of votes in both areas for both candidates. So it's hard to tell which candidate he's spoiling for. Colorado, it looks like Biden is ahead by, we'll use the most recent one. Looks like 10 points. Looks like it's going to be likely for Joe Biden. Colorado has been getting even more and more Democratic. I mean, keep in mind went from 5 points for Clinton, then 13.5 points for Biden, and then they also they elected their governor. They reelected their governor by 19 points. So that's something to keep in mind. Connecticut, Connecticut, it looks like to be single digits now because, well, it looks like with Kennedy it's single digits. So that's no shocker considering where this election is heading. I'm gonna put this as a likely state for Delaware, even though this is Biden's home state, the state he's representing. It shows that even Biden is in the margin of error with Kennedy. So something to keep in mind. I'm not even gonna the District of Columbia. Let's see if how many votes he can take away from the District of Columbia. So it looks like Biden's ahead. Yeah, why did I even do this? This was a stupid thing on my part. Jesus Christ. Florida. Whoa, hello. Oh, I was about to say hello. I was like, whoa. Okay, so Trump is ahead by about 11 points. He's nearly crossing the 50% threshold. But if you add that 8.5 points, let's do some math. So 8.5% plus that by 34.8, you get about 43%, and it's a 3-point margin of difference. But if you add that to Trump, that's pretty much a solid margin. I'm going to keep it as likely for now, considering Florida's history. Now, next is the state of Georgia. Now, Trump is leading by 5.5 points. Latest polls show that Georgia's going to go red, and that's undeniable. It is going to go red. This is clearly a blue thing, a Democrat thing. So if if Kennedy wasn't running, Trump would still be leading, but it would be a tiny bit closer. I think with Kennedy, Kennedy would win. No, I think with Kennedy on the ballot, Trump is going to win by about 8 points. With Kennedy off the ballot, I think Trump still wins by 4 points. Remember, Georgia's still a red state. It only voted for a Democrat once. If it voted for Biden a second time, I would therefore classify it as a purple state. We can therefore say it. But as of right now, it's likely Republican. For Hawaii, I remember one time it showed, for some reason, okay, this is getting crazy. Trump actually has a chance. What was his vote percentage in 2020? 34%. So it's undecided voters. So there's still a lot of undecided voters in this election. That's interesting to know. I'm going to keep it as likely. So, Idaho. Okay, solid for Trump. Some of these states I really should just be going in and just being like, yeah, we know this is going to be solid. But these other states are just going to be weird. Illinois is a good state to know. So against Trump, it is a likely state. That's a first for me, but Illinois is getting redder. Let's see, 2000, 12 points, 10 points, 04, 25 with Obama, then went back to 16, voted for Clinton more, and then voted for Biden, but it had a slight increase for Trump. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting how this works. Indiana, obviously, it's going to be solid Republican. I don't even know why I asked anymore. It's not even a question. Iowa's a good question. With Trump, 15 points, huh? But Iowans for Tax Relief Foundation is partisan polling for the Republican Party. It's 9 points. I wonder what the heck is going on there. I'm gonna class. Let's take the average of all four of these. So 15 plus 9 plus 12 plus 9. Divide that by 4, you get about 11 and 1/4. So we'll classify this as likely. Nebraska's third. This is going to be solid. I just realized that. Let's go to Kansas. Kansas, solid for Donald Trump. And that no is solid for a Democrat. Jesus Christ, that'd be a lifetime for them. Okay, makes sense for Kentucky. Louisiana. Right, so DeSantis. Back when this was still an option. Okay, so Louisiana. I'm gonna count Mississippi in there just for the sakes of it. Maine. Maine's gonna be very, very tricky. So we're gonna say all. We're gonna say let's do first one, first district. I'm gonna put it as likely based off that. We're gonna go for the second one. Trump leading by 20 points. Jesus, we need some. We need some polling. We need some more polling here. Let's go for all as a. We can't. Okay, so here it is. Trump by 6 points. Wait. Maine at large votes for Trump by 6 points. Huh. I'm sorry. I'm seeing this for the first time in a long time, but this was back in February, so things have changed probably. Well, we'll just put that there because that's what the polls have indicated. If we went completely off the polls, Maryland solid for Joe Biden, not a shocker. We'll go for the great state of Massachusetts, solid for Biden as well. We're gonna go for the Michigan, my home state. So Trump's leading, but barely. So Biden still has a chance to win my state, but it's gonna be a very tough road for him. All right, the great state of Minnesota. Okay, so Biden leads by by around 2.5 points. So I actually want to do a quick math lesson right here. So 40.7 plus 38.3 plus 10.01 plus 0.1. So there's undecided voters right now. So that's good to know because there's still people deciding. Okay, Mississippi. I don't know why I asked. How? What the hell? Okay, that's just yeah. Okay, Mississippi, Missouri. Trump's leading, but in the beginning it seemed a bit harder on him. Okay, we'll go for Montana. Okay, solid. I don't know why. If I go there. Montana, Nebraska. Now this is going to be tricky. So we only have the first district. So last time, the League of American Workers, it shows Biden ahead by 5 points, even with Kennedy. So it shows there's a lot of Biden supporters there. I was just going to count these as solid. Now for New Hampshire, actually I skipped a state, Nevada. I am deeply sorry to the citizens of Nevada. So based off this, I'm going to go off the 42.5% for Donald Trump, the 36.7% for Biden, and then 10.3% for Kennedy. So it looks like they're only operating at 90% capacity. So let's take the Tyson group right here. Let's take this paper here. Do you favor Okay. Okay, so here's what we can know about Nevada so far. Trump is very unfavorable, including Biden. So nobody thinks these two candidates are good. So that's interesting to note. So which state am I in? So Trump's leading by an average of by nearly 6 points. That's a first. When was the last time Nevada went red? That was back in 04 by 2.6 points. Then went to Bush by 3.5. And it hasn't gone for a Republican by a solid margin since George H.W. Bush Senior, more specifically. But yeah, this is very, very interesting to note, considering that this is going to be very, very interesting. So yeah, let's go to New Hampshire. If I can actually, in New Hampshire, you're not cooperating. Okay, the average so far is Biden's leading. Let's look at the latest poll. Biden's leading by 4 points. Let's look at the latest polling. With Kennedy, it's 3 points. So no matter what, it looks like Biden's on track to win New Hampshire. New Jersey, single digits. That's a bit harsh for him. Kennedy. And the only way I see Biden winning is if Kennedy was to step down. Okay, it looks like a pretty straightforward in New Mexico, because with this, it's going to be very difficult for him. New York. New York. So 7 points for Biden with Kennedy involved. 10 points, just regular. But 45%. Jesus, when was the last time? When was the last time a Republican candidate got 45% of the vote? Definitely not in this time. No. Aha. This is 47% was the last time. 47%. The highest vote percentage for Republican for this for who didn't win the state. So we'll put that as likely. North Carolina, around 6 points. Not surprising. Republicans have been doing great there. Even the governor's race for the first time. North Dakota makes sense. I'm going to assume the same for South Dakota. Trump's going to win Ohio. That's not shocking. It's going to be likely. I'm shocked it is likely. Oregon. It looks like here 11 points is the latest poll. So we'll put that as likely. We're going to go to Pennsylvania. So Trump's slightly winning by 2.5 points, but looking at we need the Cook political report. So yeah, around 2 points. Washington's going to be the interesting one. I know. Rhode Island looks like it's going to be solid for Biden. South Carolina, solid for Trump. So let's do a double whammy. So let's go to Tennessee, which is interesting. Okay, Tennessee. I should have just stated. Now we're into some other territory, more competitive states, with the exception of Vermont. Texas. So Trump's ahead by 11 points. But he's not crossed the 50% threshold yet. He needs to cross 50% in order to have a viable chance of winning the state. Utah, I saw that one coming. I have not classified Utah yet. I just did. Okay, Vermont. Ooh, if it was against Kennedy. Ooh, but 30 points. Okay, Vermont, Virginia. Ooh. So it looks like Biden's winning by 2 points. So that's going to be interesting. Virginia is now a battleground state. Okay, I have a lot of paperwork to get through. In the state of Washington, this poll scared the living daylights out of all of us. We're like, okay. So with Kennedy, Trump is leading. I am sorry, but and not to sound like a complete Canadian, sorry about that, but what the heck's going on with Washington? That was my phone. Yeah, that's fun. So Trump's leading. Trump's leading in Washington. I'm just gonna let that sink in for a few minutes. Pause the video. You done? All right, good. Because it's only gonna get worse from here. So this is what the map is looking like. Current polls. So I'm gonna just write that down for about 2 seconds. Give me about 2 seconds. All right, sorry about that. I had to upload. No, not upload. I had to get some stuff written down. But so this is what the election is probably gonna look like. I mean, okay. I take that back. This is an example of what the election could look like. Now, could this change? Yes. Could this very much so not change? Yes. But I do not see a scenario where this is the case. Where Minnesota doesn't flip, but Washington does. And where all these states vote more Republican, and yet Minnesota stays more Democratic than it voted back in 2016. Remember, back in 2016, Clinton won the state by 1.5 points. Very, very close. Then Biden went back and just gained all the voters back. Literally, that's all he did. He didn't even make a dent in the Trump caucus and won by 7.1 points. Now, remember, Obama won this twice, first by 10 points, and the second time 7.7. Now, what was the vote share? 52, 50. Okay. So we've got to keep in mind this is just preliminary. But I do stress this that I do not know what's going to happen in November, Because remember what happened back in June? Remember the Dobbs decision? Remember this. This was the deciding factor. This decided it all. The Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. This was decided June 24th, 2022. As I remember, this is just the start of June. So we still got some time to do. Something could happen. I remember this guy back in 2017. We'll go back to the Alabama special election. If we go back to there, remember, Roy Moore lost against a Democrat in a state called Alabama. But that was because the controversy within the controversy with Roy Moore. Controversies. But on November 9th, that's when it happened. When we look at polling, predictions, I don't have any polling. Where's my polling data? Polling, here it is. Remember, let's go back to all the way to the beginning. It looks like, it was a lot closer. So it looks like it was going to be closer than expected. Yeah, it seemed pretty popular. Then the allegations started coming in. Then it started to become a toss-up. Trump is now is a convicted felony. We got to remember that now. Trump is convicted. He's a felon. He can't vote anymore, actually. He can't vote in the state of Florida because there's a law against that. But we'll see. We'll just have to see and wait. And that's just what I have right now. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for any new videos, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.